here and soaked up a lot of information, but also he was able to share a lot with us. A lot of people were asking him various questions about the work that he's doing at Daniel Brinklow Church, and we thought it would be great to have him come and share some of what he's doing. If you have not checked out their social media, Instagram and Facebook, they post very regularly, and I can also give you some ideas about how you can, some of the posts that your church could possibly try to emulate. He's going to show us a little bit of how you can do that even with just your cell phone. I know we're limited in terms of equipment, sometime in budget, but most of us, if not all of us, have a cell phone, so we're not limited in what we can do. Now, Sheldon, you know the routine. Now you have to answer one of these.
Not really. Okay, so it says, what fad or trend do you hope comes back? It's actually really tough. It actually came back already. The parts in the hair. Yeah, you know, like when I was younger, man, I had one straight down the middle. My dad did it, so it went from front to back, like all the way to the back. Then my brother started cutting my hair, then it looked okay. But yeah, that man, parts. But you see some of these new designs, man. Some of these kids, I seen one the other day. There was a kid that had Bob Marley cut in the back of his hair. I kid you not. So it's actually really crazy with the new designs. But yeah, that was what I wish came back, and it came back. I'm not gonna do it. I think I've passed that level.
Maybe.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
You good?
Good.
You at well?
Yeah.
Huh? Good. So listen. I'm Sheldon Kennedy. As Latasha just told you, I do go to Emmanuel Brinklow, but that is not all about me. I do a lot of other stuff. So let's jump in, because I only got a limited amount of time, and I want to actually have you guys do something with me today to kind of show you not only how quick it is that you can do stuff on your phone. So this is what I want you guys to do before we even jump into anything. Who here uses Canva? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Ooh, Canva. Canva is an app. So while I'm talking, it's available for Android and for iPhone. While I'm talking, I need you guys to go and download Canva. C-A-N-V-A, Canva. C-A-N-V-A, Canva. No, it's free. Oh, no, well, I'm working on that. Okay, also, while you are there, while you are downloading, I want you to download this app called Video Show. There's 2 apps I want you to download. Okay, here we go. Let me just to make it easy on you, so that you can see.
Video show and Canva.
Yeah, there they are. Canva is one of them. The other one is Video Show. Okay. Yeah. For iPhone users, go to the App Store. For those who are Android users, go to Google Play. Y'all got me? Wait. You can do while I'm talking. I don't mind. It's all good. But listen, while you're downloading, because I don't think that's going to hinder you in any way. Let me tell you what we're going to go over today. Okay? So, where am I? Here I am. Yay. So, who am I? What brought me here? Quick ways to design on your phone, quick ways to edit on your phone, ways to deliver stunning yet consistent themes and content all on your phone. And just some final, simple tech tips. Cool? We're all good? So who am I? This is real simple. That's my family. Oh, amen, God is good. Married for going 13 years this summer. 13 years. I have 2 boys. My wonderful wife, Elaine, she has dealt with me for 13 years, like I said.
Hallelujah.
And my oldest son, he's about to be 10 years old, and my youngest one is 5, gonna be 6. I pause sometimes because he tries to act like he's 40.
Yes.
So he's an old soul. I love them both. The youngest one is a lot like me, so very difficult to discipline. Very difficult to discipline. But that's who I am. But what brought me here, right? I kind of wanted to show you one reason why I'm here. Is the sound on real quick? I hope so. So let me just show you rather than telling you. Did I bring it over there? No, I didn't. Give me 1 second. You know this is easier when you do it on your phone, right? It's because that's what this is about. Give me, oh, come on. There I am. Move. This is not gonna let me do this. And once I do that, I gotta do that. Yay. Come on, Sheldon. Don't worry, Latasha. I'll get it together at some point. All right, so here we go. Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be talking to you here at AEC CamCon 2019. As you can see, I'm going to be talking to you about cell phones and how you can use them to do most of your design and communications work. Now, how did I come to this realization? Was it by choice? Nah. It's very easy. See, I'm stubborn, and I didn't listen to my body telling me that it was injured. Long story short, I got so injured that I couldn't even use the right side of my body for 2 months. For a creative, that's pretty much like saying, don't breathe for 2 months. My arm stopped working, but my brain didn't. Not being able to sit up to use my computer, and you know I tried, especially when my wife went to work. I would get up and do research on different apps I could use to design logos and create posters and even edit videos. I found so many apps that I could use, and even after I was back to full use of my arms, what was a necessity before became a passion and actually a great way to create content quick and clean. So today I hope to help you find different uses for your cell phone, outside of just viewing social media and playing games. Stay tuned. All right, so, anybody tell me where I edited that? Anybody know that you can record video of your screen on your phone?
Yes. Yes.
Do you see where I was typing on video editing apps? You can actually screen capture on your phone. And then I brought that into the video. All the text and stuff, right on my phone. The music, right on my phone. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I did that this morning. That video, before I came here in 15 minutes. On my phone. Why am I telling you that? I don't even know. I don't know why I'm telling you that. It's possible. It is very possible. And let me tell you why it's possible, right? Hopefully that looked okay to you all. Very clear? Okay, so I'll give you a couple tips on that as well. Let me go back to full screen mode, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I do on my phone. I'll tell you another thing. The presentation that you're looking at right now, where did I create it?
On your phone.
Through Canva, on my phone. There are links in here to other websites. Where did I do it? On my phone. I'm not using my computer to do all of this. Now, there's another slide that I'm gonna show you real quick. What I will not say. This is what I will not say. You can do without your computer or design teams forever. I will never say that. I would never ever say that. Because the things that you can do on your computer, you will never be able to do. There's things that you can do on your computer that your phone just can't do. There's too much power. There's too much things that you will want to do. But for small, now this is a good word right here, targeted content, you can use your phone. Cool? I'm gonna give y'all a little tip. And I gave this to Monique this morning. And I would suggest you all consider this. Mother's Day is on its way. There's an opportunity for you to be targeted for Mother's Day using your phone. You want to know what that is? Is there a message that you want to say for your mother for Mother's Day? Yes. Video it. Put on the lower thirds. Post it. That's just an idea. I know I would do it. And I would also put, this message is sponsored by, enter your church name here. But anyway, that's not my job today. I'm here to just tell you how to use your phone. Okay, so this is just a bunch of stuff that you could will be really helpful to you. So, as I said, I was doing a lot of research on the amount of apps that you probably design with, right? And you don't even have to take pictures. Everything's right here in these packets. So you're good. I hope you're good. So Canva, which is what we just used. Reason why I like Canva is Canva comes with a lot of templates, right? Not only Canva comes with a lot of templates, but it actually comes with a team sharing capability. That's a little bit of a paid service, but it's more than worth it. It is more than worth it, okay? When I say it's more than worth it, it is more than worth it. Now here goes the cool part. You can also do theming. There was somebody I was talking to a moment ago. Theming is very important. Reason why theming is important. You can choose your colors, your color scheme, and every time that you create a new slide or create a new content, it automatically picks up your theming. It automatically brings in your logo, right? That's part of your packaging. So you're not having to search for the color base because not all reds are the same red, right? Your church actually does have a specific color base. It actually does. So that's just a little bit. So Canva's really good. Another great one, great one, Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is really good because it's pretty much, well, let me roll back to Canva, because Canva actually just recently introduced this. With their paid service, something that Adobe Spark already had, Canva actually just brought it in. Adobe Spark has this ability you can design once and change the formatting to any platform that you desire, right? So, what is the shape for Instagram? Come on, people from social media people. It's a square. It's a square, right? Facebook it's a landscape. It's actually that's the default. Now here goes the problem. If you try to post a Facebook pic in Instagram, it's gonna chop it. Unless you go in there and you stretch it out and press that, the Y button, right? So we good on that? So Adobe Spark gives you the ability to design once, and it actually reformats everything for you pretty nicely. Designer, pretty cool. Postmarker, pretty cool. PS, Photoshop Mix. That's for a person that's kind of like nerdy like me, but it's still beneficial because it allows you. Anybody here know how to use Photoshop or Illustrator? Photoshop, Illustrator people? Photoshop Mix is something that you want to look into. Photoshop Mix allows you to do additional layers. Okay, so you will basically be able to bring in a picture or bring in something else, but add layers, a lot of layers, and it's not as restrictive as the other programs. And you can actually do custom sizing for your layouts on Photoshop Mix. So it's pretty cool, okay? Design Lab Studios, Font Lab Studios, a lot of them are they're very similar. Now this is what I'll say. Everyone has a free capability, but if you want the full bang for it, you gotta pay like sometimes $2 a month. But in the grand scheme of it, it is actually more than worth it, right? Did everybody download a video show or Canva? It's taking long? Okay, don't worry. For those who are able to get it, don't worry. try to get video shoots to show too, because that's the one that is gonna be the blessing to you today. Blessing. Okay. So here we go. So the reasons why I like these different designers, and I'm gonna rush through these next couple of slides because I want to get down to the actual demonstration portion with you all. So the reason one is quick and simple, right? You can do most of this on the go and not sacrifice quality. So I'm able to, like I showed you just this morning, just a moment ago, I was able to do a video on all these things and present it to you. And I felt confident knowing that I would come here and be able to present it to you and it not look like garbage. You know, that's at least a little bit of confidence that you can have. You know, there's a lot of time where you'll do something and you say, I don't have the confidence. But with the tools that I'm able to show you and the things that are available to you, you'll feel good. The other one is free. Free. When you don't have the large budget, that word right there is real good. Free, right? So let's keep going. Here we go. What about video now? So we already dealt with the designing part as far as being to lay out stuff, right? This one right here, actually, for those who are on social media, and I believe it may have been talked about earlier, and I'll say this again. Social media is attracted to videos. It can be attracted to flat text images, but it's really attracted to videos. Just from my observance, but also there's data to back it up, right? So you probably want to know about some of this stuff. InShot, there's iMovie. iMovie is something that if you have an iPhone already, it's already there. Well, it's a free download. Adobe Premiere Rush, really good splice. Video Shop for WeVideo, really great. But the one I told you about today is Video Show. So there's so much more. So the reason why I picked these things, because there's a simple use, ability to do layering, lower thirds. Does anybody know what a lower third is? The news? Okay, good. So when you're looking at the news, you see that section down at the bottom where it says, this coming from Shamari Stone. You know that section down there? That's called the word with their titling, that's called lower thirds. Okay, everything else that's all over the page, that's just words. Right. Top 2/3, exactly. I'm gonna use that. But yeah, so the bottom is the lower thirds. So anytime you see like how my name came in, those are called lower thirds. But yeah, so the ability to have quality lower thirds is also very important. And here goes the cool, this is something that you probably should remember. Once you pick a style and a coloring for your lower thirds, consistently use it. Once you start using something for your system, don't, oh, this look cool. You know, the other day I went to, I went away a couple weeks ago and I was at a conference and, you know, somebody was doing a presentation. Man, they had so many different styles. They had train tracks running through. They had fireworks, a whole lot of stuff. Now, mind you, that was cool back in 1997. And just barely, right? But we're at a different stage right now where simplicity is key. Simplicity is key, right? So don't overcomplicate it for yourself. So once you pick something, stick with it. Once you pick something, stick with it, okay? So anyway, so here we are, the hands-on section, right? So, hands-on, right? Demo. So here's what I want you to do. For those who have been able to download Canva or Video Show, no? Yes. Yeah. At least one of you. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so here we go. This is what I want you to do. Find at least one person in the room who you can interview for 10 to 20 seconds about how great ABC CamCon is. Okay? So go, you know, find a person. But here goes the requirements. Do not video them like this. Do not video them like this. You got me? No portrait videoing. Always video like this. Okay? There's multiple, I'll tell you the reasonings a little bit later. Do not video like this unless you are putting it only on one platform. And that one platform would be Instagram Live. Else, please, landscape. So, I'm not gonna tell you to pair up, but I just want you to video, find somebody, either to your left or to your right. Not all at once, but let's try to move around and just find somebody and ask them how they feel. Do you mind if I interview one of you? Who's available for interview? Come with me. You can, because I want to show you how quick this could be worked. Yeah. Go now. Go either for. The question is, how do you feel? How great Allegheny East CamCon 2019 is?
Is that the right one? It's Canvas. Do I have to sign up?
Oh, I don't have it. And landscape. For video, you want to use it for multiple uses. So Instagram Live, portrait, yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, sure.
So what? Like, okay, so
My name is Sheldon. I'm from Montclair. And why are you here for CamCon at CamCon Academy? And I really love it. I love the seminar and the educational.
Did everybody get the interview? Oh, you got it? Okay.
Great.
And then putting a little third on.
I think it's really
The next part is gonna go real fast.
And I really love how we're
I hope.
all consulting and this new app that we're using and really trying innovative things with our phones and new ways that we can understand. No problem.
Knowledge. I'm learning a whole lot.
All
And I
right.
must look at you teach.
We ready? Yeah, just use your regular video. Don't worry about the ads. Yeah, 30 more seconds. 31 seconds.
We're now at 39.
Ready? Whatever.
Act like we're retarded. Act like we're retarded and say, turn the power. Go to your next.
Did you video somebody? Oh, he wants to go to our regular camera.
Oh, a regular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You may go to video. Video somebody.
All right, so here we go. I know there's still people working, but we can move on, right? So here we go. I want you to open up Canva. Open up Canva for me, okay? Open up Canva for me. Now, inside of Canva, if you have downloaded Canva, open up Canva, and the next thing is, there is a template called YouTube channel art. Yes, you'll see, you can search for it, you can search for the word YouTube channel art. The reason why I'm asking you to specifically use that one is because of the ratio that it is for the template. I don't want you to use Instagram because Instagram is a square. YouTube channel art is actually 16 by 9.
Good thing to know.
Good thing to know, right? Facebook cover art is also in that realm. YouTube channel art. Now, when you go to YouTube channel art, you can actually pick any template you want. It really doesn't matter. You can actually pick any template that you want. You like that, right? The word free. I like the word free as well. So here we go. YouTube channel art. Now, for the pastors or anybody that is doing presentations on a weekly basis, I would strongly suggest that you look at Canva because they also have presentations, full packets. I'm talking about, so the stuff that you're seeing behind me that I created, I actually didn't have, I just had to put in the content. Okay? I just put in the content. As far as the layouts go, the images go, they're there. I can swap out the images if I want. I'm just letting you guys know that. And it's, and the slide transitions that it's doing, that's also part of it. So we're going to YouTube channel art. Now pick any template that you want. Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. The next thing that you're going to do is this. Change out the text to be something like 2019, AEC 2019 CamCon. It really, really doesn't matter. So in order to change out the text, you actually tap on the text. Right? And when you tap on it, it should highlight everything. You're doing this on your phone. I know I'm talking, so it's going to seem like this is taking forever, but this is actually 10, 15 seconds of your life right now.
Okay. And what do we do after that?
Type in 2019 AEC CamCon. Sure, whatever you want. And, to the grand scheme of it. Right. Now, here's the cool thing about Canva while y'all are doing that typing in. You can actually add logos and stuff as well. So if you have a logo for your church, for those who are doing it already, you can actually just add your logo to the bottom right, top, anywhere, drag it, and stretch it out, do whatever you need to do. One thing I would always encourage churches to do when it comes to logo work, to make sure that they have multiple variations of their logo. Vertical, circle, if possible, but also having monochromatic, thank you. Black and white. Thank you. Because when you're doing stuff like this, it's very necessary, because you don't want your logo to get lost in or overpower the, well, you want it to kind of overpower, but you want it to be very highly visible, right? So, once you've done that, you can change out the background if you like, not a big deal. If you want to change out the background, all you got to do is tap on the background, and there should be something that says images or even pro images. Now, the cool thing about Canva and all of these design and video softwares is they come stocked with free backgrounds or free pictures. So if you're looking for images and you don't know where to get them so that you don't get sued, Canva comes stocked with them. And a lot of the time, many of the images that are in Canva are already in Adobe Spark and all of these other platforms because they are already covered for their financial liability. So, very important to know. So, after we've done that, did everybody change and do whatever they need to do? Yeah. Well, okay, guess what the last part of this is? To export it. in the top corner, you should see a button that looks like, well, I know it's pretty difficult to see, but there's a down arrow. You see where the arrow is? There's a down arrow with an underline under it. When you hit it, you should see it says magic. It should say something like magic happening. It actually is just downloading into your phone. Okay? Cool? Excuse me? Well, there's two arrows. There's an up arrow and a down arrow. The up arrow, they both can work similarly, but just use the down arrow. Okay? So, just so you know, that is now stored on your phone. That is now stored on your phone. Cool? Now here goes how you put it all together. Again, in the grand scheme of things, what we just did was 30 seconds. Seriously, in the grand scheme of it was 30 seconds. But I'm talking, right? I'm talking because I'm talking you through it, right? Grand scheme of it, 30 seconds. Here goes the other part. This part can take you a minute and a half. For those who are able to, open a video show. If you have iMovie, do that. It doesn't make a difference. If you have iMovie, if you're on an iPhone, do that. But for what we're doing, open a video show, right? Now that we're on video show, click the video edit button, right? Now you'll see this thing up here. It says select your items, right? We just did a video and we did a graphic. Select the graphic first and then the video. Okay, if you got that, just swipe, and then you'll see like an X in the corner. If you see like those are just ads. Because this is a free thing, there should be an X or a skip or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, so swipe over. And it says start down there.
Sheldon, where are we supposed to be right now?
Did you do video edit? Are you in video show? If you are not, just go to video show. Actually, you can, for those who could just follow the directions. They're there. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh. It can. Oh, well, you would have to download it from Canva first. Yeah. If you did that in Canva, you would have to download it from Canva. So once you're in video show, select the videos that you did, the art as well as the video, right? So by virtue of just selecting those two things, you've actually created the first part of the movie, right? Because it automatically puts together the image and the movie. If you just press play right now, it'll play the image for 3 seconds, and then it will do whatever you have. If you have more than one video, just stitch them together. Yes, yes, yes. Five more minutes, and then I'm gonna set y'all free. Till it's done. Save to your camera. Now that's done. So now go to video show. Yeah. I'll come back to that in a second. All right, so here we go. So, for those who are able to do it, just add the two videos together, right? I promise you, I'll come right over there. Let me get through this, and then I'll come right over there. Sounds good? All right, so here we go. Once you're able to get those in, you can add those videos together. Now, there's a way to add lower thirds, right? So the way that you add lower thirds is you go to Pro Edit and you select the word text. While you're in, do you see the word Pro Edit down at the bottom? Oh, you're in Clip Edit, that's why. You're already in Clip Edit. So if you edit subtitle. So it's different for Android. The word is subtitle. I don't know why they did that. But if you see the word subtitle, that's what it is. Subtitle, and just hit the plus symbol. Once you hit this plus symbol, you'll be able to add text right on your phone, right? So you've done three things now. You've created a graphic, you've created a video, you've created a lower third. Now, the last part of it is sometimes, you notice how there was music in the background? The cool thing is, now, under normal circumstances, and this is something that is very important, you probably learned this yesterday, you probably will learn this last year. If you use music that is not yours, you will get sued. So, part of these video shows and all of these other platforms, they have music that is available to you so that you can use it. And it's free. Now, it's not going to be no 7-minute song, it's not going to be Donnie McClurkin, it's not going to be none of that. It's just going to be what you heard in the background, and it's actually not something that is too present, that it overshadows your vocal, which is very important. Cool? So, if you see sound or something like that, hit sound, music. Right? Once you do that, This is your first time doing it. I'm not expecting perfection. I'm just expecting that you can actually see like the process. Okay? So don't feel discouraged. I can't get it. I'm gonna throw it away. This is the first time any of you have seen any of this, so don't be shocked. Don't be surprised. But it actually is very easy once you get the hang of it. Okay? We're nearly done. We're nearly done. Huh? No, don't worry, I'm here for a few moments, you know. So, once you do that, you add the music. Now, you have the vocal, you have the lower third, you have, what else? You have the graphic, we have all of that. We could add the transition stuff, but for today, we won't do it because I don't, you know, I'm always mindful, right? But you could add transitions. Transitions are things like fades, swipes, wipes. In video show, there is lens flares, which are sometimes, it makes it look like you had a flash of light before the next video, right? Sometimes it's really good. You just have to play with it and see how it works. Don't always use the same transition unless you are doing stuff like interviews. Interviews do not require flash, glitz, and glamour. Interviews generally either use crossfades or actual full chops. Just something to know. But the last part of this is just exporting it so that it's on your phone, right? Like I said, in the grand scheme of it, what you guys did just now is about 1.5 minutes. Because I'm talking, it's 15, right? Last part of it. Up in the top corner now, you'll see a button. Real dark, hard to see, but you'll see a button. And once you click on that, you'll see the option to export as 420, 460, 720, or 1080. Obviously, 1080 is if you have the paid service. But here goes the cool thing. We are putting this on Instagram or these small sources. 720 is more than sufficient. Reality, what you guys saw was 720, right? It still looked clear though, but it was exported at 720. What is 720? I'm gonna let Charles explain that to everybody. Bryce, explain. What? Yeah, I could explain it, but so Bryce, I know, but it's important to know. As communicators, we are actually responsible for knowing a lot of this information. So please, if I'm saying something that is not understood, just Sheldon, what is that in layman's English? 480 is something that is not used anymore. 720, it's actually the amount of pixels.
720
It's pixels per square something, right? So, right, so 10, right now, most TVs are 1080p, 1080i, 4K, right? So so 420, 720 is low, but because you're looking at them on phones, that's more than enough resolution, okay? So that is how simple it is. In the grand scheme of it, we worked just now for about 2 minutes. Truthfully, we truthfully just worked for 2 minutes, but you have a video that you could actually just post out because you took a video. We can trim it up. We can do a lot of different things to it right in that shot, because the software allows for a lot more than we have time to demo. But just know that you have access to these things. Here goes the other thing that you need to do.
I'm trying to figure mine out.
You can put your logo on these. It's always important to stamp everything that you're doing so that nobody can take it. It happened to me last year. I did a full design on something. Full design. I actually saw another church take my full design, chop off my logo off the bottom, and use it. Another church in our conference.
Oh no.
No shade.
Oh no.
But it happens. No, that teeth. So that's just real, right? So please be mindful. Put your logo on everything you do, because it is your content. It is your content. So that's the end of this demo, right? I just want to kind of give you, you can ask, you can hit me with 3 billion questions in a second. So, you guys saw me speaking this morning on the video, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know that I was actually reading?
No.
I was reading from my phone. There's a software called BigView. It's a teleprompter. It was my teleprompter in my phone. So, where's my phone? I was reading. So, let me quickly show you this. Hopefully you can see it from this distance. Here's my app called BigView. Okay? My eyes were focused on you, were they? Okay. Let me check this out. BigView. You guys ready? Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be talking to you today at CamCon 2019. As you can see, I am going to be talking to you about cell phones and... Notice it's still moving? And based upon how fast you speak, you can change the speed.
Oh, excuse me.
Right?
All right.
Right? That's an app. Everything is an app. Everything is an app. So if I'm sitting at home, pastors, I'm just telling you this as well. Put this on. You see that? You see what he has right there?
Yeah.
You see what this is right here? BigView is not the only one. So just type in teleprompter. Just type in teleprompter. BigView is not the only one. I put it like this, turned to me, and I talked. Because I know how to read. Facts. I do. Right? So rather than me stumbling through these things, I write them, and then I say them. Right? So, a lot of the time, it became a little bit more difficult when you're asking somebody to do something off the cuff. But if I have a planned shot, BigView is one of the tools that I utilize. And here goes the other cool part about it. BigView has the capability, if you have a green screen is, you see when they do like the weather forecast? BigView has the ability, if you shot your thing on a green screen, you can actually take out the green screen and put any background behind it. Okay? Yeah, no. I don't have any strong recommendations on any of the teleprompter softwares. I just happen to like this one. I did go through a lot of them, but I just happen to like it. But all of them, like I said, with all the other video stuff, a lot of them are really similar. It's just a matter of how you utilize the software. BigView, B-I-G-V-U. B-I-G-V-U, okay? Also, Voiceovers. So there's something that we do at our church every Sabbath. Rather than do y'all remember back in the day when it used to be announcements time, the church clerk would go up front and church brothers and sisters, next week we'll have church board meeting and I want to, right? Well, what we did was we decided that rather than having that, we would actually script our announcements and we have a voiceover behind our video and images. So if tomorrow's Children's Day, so you'll see an image of Children's Day with the voiceover. Hey guys, remember. But also you have the ability to do a bunch of other stuff in there. I'm just telling you. And guess where you can do it? Use voice notes on your phone and import it into any of your editing softwares and do it right on your phone. I've done all of that on my phone. Last thing. Rather than recording somebody, notice when you guys are recording, there's a distance between, there's a gap. In between that gap is air. What air does, it actually brings the sound up. So this is what you hear? That's room sound. You want to take that out, right? The way to take that out, and somebody said that they bought it. Monique said she bought one. You have the ability for pretty cheap to get a mic like that, or even lapel mics, which I use the lapel mic. And for those iPhone users, just get the adapter plug. And so what you heard in my video was me using the lapel mic. You didn't even see it. It was actually in my hoodie, right? So that takes away all your noise. Not all, majority of your noise, because you didn't, I don't know if you realized this, but my screen door was open to my right.
Yes, I know.
Oh, of course you would. If anybody go do it for you. But that means you have outside noise.
Yes.
If I don't use the lapel mic, the outside noise is prevalent.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Noise is noise.
Yes.
But and people notice it online. Oh, I couldn't hear that because a truck went by. You know? So last thing. So simple things you can get. Because in the grand scheme of the year, $99 is not bad. In the grand scheme of the year, in the grand scheme of 2 years or 3 years, this will last you a long time. This is a light, right? This is a light, okay? You can put your cell phone right in here, okay? Sit right here, do all your video, okay? Notice I was lit up, that was this. If you don't have that light, you get a bunch of shadowing. Okay? Simple stuff. And it's actually, you can get them for cheaper than $99 now. Just in the grand scheme of things, over a year. So this is just a ring light. Ring light. Ring light. Get yourself one of these. Get yourself similar to that. But here's what makes this one a little bit different. Do y'all see this thing down at the bottom? Right here? Right here?
It's red and it pulls out.
It's a remote control. So, it connects to my camera. So, $15. Grand scheme of things, this is just an iPhone stand. Go to the amazing Amazon. iPhone stand with remote. Okay? In the grand scheme of things, $15 ain't a lot. In the grand scheme of things. Yes, this is a ring light. This is, you can get them from anywhere from $79, but they get bigger and bigger and bigger. The original use of ring lights actually was, so the people who made them popular was Polo. Polo used to do all their photo shoots using ring lights. Now, reason why that is because they wanted a specific type of lighting. They wanted to highlight the certain features of the face. That's why Polo did it. Okay? So this is a ring light. Grand scheme of things, well worth it. Grand scheme of things, well worth it. Last thing. I already went over the mics, right? Another light, $10. Clip this to your cell phone, right over your camera.
That's crazy. Now you know I can't stand you.
I'm videoing you now. With a light.
No shadow, dude.
No shadow.
Ain't that something?
Oh. She saved my life. Yes, yeah. Just put lights for cell phones in the amazing Amazon, and wait for a box to appear on Monday. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, no, let me tell you, 1 day shipping, they're real with it, man. Okay, so here we go. A cell phone light, right? Real simple. It clips right there. This takes away all that shadow. Okay? Really important, but cheap, right? Again, in the grand scheme of things, not expensive. Last one. This is not a ukulele. I always get asked when people see me with this. This is not a ukulele. Saying, right? Okay. This is a gimbal. This is a gimbal for my phone. So gimbal. Was anybody here last year? Do you remember when Ruth and Josh, actually I just saw Josh 2 weeks ago. He works down the block from me in Baltimore. So when you are videoing things, sometimes if you're in church, right, and you're trying to video certain things and you're moving, when you move, your hands move. Well, when I put my camera in this, and I'll just quickly demo it for you, quickly.
It's not for cell phone, but if you actually have the camera itself.
Oh, I gotta take out my face. This is the last one. Once it's calibrated, which is not right now. There you go. Come on, work with me. So as I'm recording, it keeps in place. Right? There is no, right? So my shot is not bouncing around, so I can run with it. So I can run with this.
Thank you.
I can't do two things at once. I can run with this, and it's not going to give me a jagged shot. Okay? I'm moving across. The shot is consistent. And let me tell you what this does for your viewers. It looks like you are using a big system, because now these cameras come and they shoot in 4K. Right? These iPhone cameras and the new Samsung cameras, they shoot real high quality. So now put that together with the visual, woo! You got something good. Right? So now, what have we done now? Right? We put together quality. Now, if you're gonna ask me, so what's the cost on that? So what's the cost on this? These start at $99. But in the grand scheme of things, it's worth it. Right? Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm done. But like I said at the beginning, I do still use computers. I still do use Adobe. I still do use Final Cut. I still do use all of these other softwares. I do. Right? Oh, the other thing that this does is it has different settings. This ring light, cell phone ring light. This is BAL. GIMBAL. This right here is called a gimbal, right? Cell phone gimbal. It is not specific to iPhone. It is, so everything I've shown you, anybody can use for anything. Okay?
What did you say? Who's the manufacturer of the iPhone ring light?
Anybody. there's so many of them. Oh, and you see what he got in his hand right there? That right there is a wonderful piece of equipment right there. That's a all-in-one gimbal, right? That's a pocket gimbal. That is made by, which one? Oh, yeah, so DSI makes those. These things right here are absolutely amazing. So they came out with these, it's recording right now, so don't say nothing. But listen, they came out with these last year, right before Christmas. And these retail for $349. $349. So this is all in one. It's called a pocket gimbal. Right now it's recording you. Look, pocket gimbal, right? But in the grand scheme of things, family, in the grand scheme of things, it is worth it, right? Now here's what's the cool thing about this. Now there's a thing on the back of it, but let me tell you what's also cool about this. You can actually Bluetooth these up directly to your phones. So you record it here, but your phone is the storage system. Now again, with all these phones that come with these astronomical storage systems, in the grand scheme of things, it's worth it. We don't got, you know what I mean? Facts, we don't have large budgets, but if you use your budget in the way that you can, in the grand scheme of things, we've only spent about $400, $500. I'm just saying. But anyway, so that's all I got for you today. I'm here, so you can ask me a bunch of billion-dollar questions that I'll give you $0 answers to, but I'm here with you. Thank you so much. Oh, the sound quality doing that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But thank you.
In the grand scheme of things. So when you finally finish those videos you were working on, please send them to us so we can utilize them for promotion. And something I wanted to share with you all that his presentation made me remember is that as a team, we were thinking that we really wanted to extend CamCon beyond a once a year type of thing. So we wanted to have webinars monthly, like CamCon Continued, where presenters just like Sheldon, who has shown us something before, can come back and we can all log online together and ask our follow-up questions. Maybe we've tried it and now we need him to give us some tips to make it better. And so we're going to roll that out so that people that have get real answers back and forth, and we can all learn from wherever we are in our respective homes or churches. So once again, let's give Sheldon a round of applause. That was great information. This is an example of how you as an attendee who is full of knowledge come back and share the whole group. So we appreciate all that he shared. Okay, so it's 2:11. And we do have our next presentation coming up with Andrew Ashley, and he, as you remember earlier, he promised us that he was going to show us some specifics about how we can grow our social media following. Let me see, by a show of hands, who wants to grow their social media following? Okay, I was hoping that was an obvious yes from all of you. So we're going to give him time to set up his device, his computer. And so you have a little break while we do that, and then we're going to jump right in. As a matter of fact, Bryce, oh yes, that's the other thing. All of the presentations that you all have seen since CamCon started, we typically, and it's been our practice, we will have them all electronically for you on our CamCon page for you to access and be able to view, in addition to the actual video of the presentation. So anything that you miss, of course the presentations will get up before the videos because we do a little post editing with them. So don't worry about whether or not you'll get the information. We'll put it on our page. Oh, also that tools sheet where we list some of the apps and things, we're gonna expand to that list. As we've heard our presenters mention different things, we're just gonna keep adding to that list and keep it updated on our website so that as we learn about new apps and new software and products, we can share it with you as well.
Okay.
How we doing? How many of these presentations have you all had today? Like 3, 4? 4? It's a lot of information. A lot of information. It's good information, I imagine. So I was thinking a little bit ago after I did my first one, that, okay, for the second one, I'm gonna just do more demos because I get how, even though it's all a lot of information, you know, it might be better for me, if we're talking about social media, to do a lot of demonstrations and leave a lot of space for answering questions. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with touching on and showing you all some of the things that we, the Haystack, the platform that I'm the director of, what we do to get social media engagement. I'm gonna show some examples, like show you a live Facebook feed, what we do. And then I'm gonna show you some ways we do it, some resources we use, and all throughout, we're not gonna wait to the end, all throughout, if you have a question, just raise your hand. If I'm doing something and you're like, I'm confused, raise your hand and we'll answer the question. So, I'm gonna start off with Facebook. Okay. Okay, cool. So, I guess I'm gonna turn this way a little bit. So this is our Facebook page. And there are a lot of things we do on our Facebook page to get engagement. So this is the first thing that just came up on. And so right here, this is a good example of something. So right here, we were doing, and I'll show you in a minute, we were just doing this series called If I Were to Get Married. And it was this 6-part live series where we talked about kind of the pros and cons of getting married. And one thing we would do, like every night after we would live stream it, we would usually pose a question, right? Pose a question, and we would make these little GIFs. You guys know what a GIF is, or a GIF, or not? You can easily just look them up. I believe someone just put in the GIF generator, just like relationships or marriage or rings and whatnot. You just get 2 different GIFs, and then usually ideally they're funny. And you just create a poll. You create a poll, and you know, this one, the poll that we did was, do you believe the poll? Let me think. Do you connect better with God when you're in a relationship or when you're single? Let us know. In a relationship, single, and people got to vote. We had 46 voters, and so that was one way that we used to engage with the people as we were doing the content. Let us go up. We also do a lot of vlogs, and once again, as you saw what I showed my videos earlier, the idea for the vlogs is to talk about things that people are thinking about, people are dealing with. That's how we get engagement there. You can actually see some of the, since I is in my account, you can see some of the engagement that we're getting right there.
Oh, this was exactly.
And of course, we do videos. So this is one of the episodes of the If I Were to Get Married series. Once again, thinking about even the series, it was a very relevant series, very relevant topic for youth and young adults. So it's all about the pros and cons of getting married. So this was a live series. And yeah, so you can see the data for that. And we have 6 nights, so this is just gonna go past all the nights. Lots of engagement. And then you get to more blogs. Believe it or not, the blogs are obviously connected to our website, and we get about 10,000 people visiting our website a week through the blogs, which is huge. It's funny because I used to be a huge downer on blogs. Like when I would be with my team, the Haystack team, I would say, oh, we need to focus less on blogs. We don't read blogs. But actually it was corrected. Like people still engage with blogs. So if you have, and this is a great place to start. Maybe you don't have all the equipment you need to start a whole bunch of videos or do a whole bunch of series. But if you want to start off with just having a nice blog, clean blog where people can go to, let me actually click on this and see where it leads. You just redid the website, so I don't know if this one is transferred over. Okay, so this brings us to the, this is actually the older website. We just launched a new one. This blog hasn't been brought to the new one yet, but simple layout. I'm not even sure what this blog is about. It's called Flood, and it's a really short blog. Super short, just a thought. It's probably like 2-3 paragraphs, and super simple. But people will engage with that, and studies show that blogs work really great in the morning between 8 a.m. and noon. Those are the best times to post a blog because people are at their work and they don't feel like doing work. They go on Facebook and they want to read something cool and they'll go and click on your blog. So if you have a church Facebook page, I would say blogging, especially starting off, is the first thing you're going to want to invest in as far as getting social media engagement, right? Because people will read it, especially if you're talking about things that are relevant. Now, any questions on anything so far? The blogs or anything? I'm sorry? A platform for blogs? Okay, so blogs, as far as posting, can work on all platforms. We post it on our Facebook page, we post it on our Instagram. Let me actually pull up the Instagram real quick. Okay, there we go. So you'll see videos, but every once in a while you'll see us. I believe this is a blog. Let's see. This is a link. Maybe this isn't a link to a blog, but what we do is we take the picture, we post it on our Instagram, and people click on it. I think this one is example. Yeah, it's a new post of the blog, and people can go to the website and find the blog. So we do it on Instagram. We even do it on Twitter. Now, I will say about Twitter, Twitter is actually it's not the greatest platform for churches. From my experience, even for the Haystack, since it's a Christian organization, Twitter is one of those platforms, unless you're a celebrity, and unless you're just like trolling people, it's not really that edifying. It doesn't really do much for you. People don't typically go on Twitter to find edifying Christian content, once again, unless they're following like a celebrity pastor or something like that, or your famous church. But if you're just a local church, you're really probably not going to get that much engagement in Twitter, and it might not be the best use of your time. So yeah, I don't know if that actually answers your questions as far as like blogging. Okay, yeah. So I've used a few different ones, and my team, they've used several, but I think WordPress has been one of the main ones that they've used. Wix is also a platform. Squarespace is also, Squarespace is actually one of the best platforms for building a website. It's super easy. And I wish I could just show you guys how easy it is to build a website. But I'm telling you, if you go to Squarespace, when you think about websites, it seems really intimidating, like, oh, building a website. But these days, you don't have to do any coding, right? You can literally build a website as easy as it is to build, sometimes a Facebook page account, etc. There's just a whole bunch of templates you can choose, and you just put the information in. It's almost like building a flyer or a graphic, right? It's pretty easy. So, and it has it all set up in there to be able to do blogs. So when you want to enter a new blog, basically it just says like create new post. You click on the post and you can just type and copy or paste any blog you want, and then you can post it, add an image to it, and that's exactly what we do. That's all we do. When I showed you this one right here, this to you, to the audience, it looks really official, but on the other end of things, and I don't actually know if I could get to the other end of things right now. But on the other end of things, it's really just clicking add post, and you're posting, you're copying and pasting the information, the text, and then you just find an image. And I'll touch on that in a moment, where you can find really good images. You add the image, and then it comes out like this. So it's really nice, really clean, and yeah. I think that's a really great way to get that engagement. Like I said, we have 10,000 people a week rather, that come to our website for blogs. There's another blog. So we do a lot of blogs, and then I started to produce all this random different content that didn't really have any direction. It wasn't that great quality, and I fell straight on my face. And I learned from that is that, hey, okay, these things take time, right? Especially if you're not an experienced producer, especially if you don't have the most experienced team. Even if you have a team, you know, in order to know how to lead them, in order to know how to create narratives and create stuff that people actually going to engage with, it takes time. So it's actually I've been with the Haystack for a year, and I've actually been a film producer for a few years, but it's just been like 6 months ago where I felt like I'm a competent producer, where I can create things that I know people are going to engage with, where I can create things that I know is going to attract an audience. So we started this series, for example called the Haystack Reports, where this is specifically for Adventist young adults, right? And what we do is we cover various different topics and events in the Adventist church. And we cover them through an angle of like news reporting. And sometimes they're really controversial, topics like the One Project. One Project can be a controversial topic. So we went to the one project that happened a few months ago, and you can see it's great quality. Man, this thing is great quality. I was able to put together a great production team. We work really closely together. We draft beforehand, we go there, we shoot a whole bunch of content, and then we do editing. And I'm going to touch on how you can go about doing editing and some other things in a moment. But yeah, that's one example of the videos we make. We also collaborate with some other people. The CamCon Conference actually has a series called Tiny Cheer Talks, and it's based off of a project they're doing called Project Refresh, or a new media program they're doing. And it's really great stuff. It's like an interview show. They talk about really heavy topics. This one, I believe, was talking about sexual abuse. And real topic, once again, it's all about curating and creating relevant content, right? Sexual abuse is a taboo topic in the Adventist church, but a lot of these young adults know about it, they've experienced it. And imagine this, like, it always breaks my heart when I see Hollywood touching on topics and traumas, human traumas that the church should be addressing, right? And it breaks my heart where I can find more films, video, and resources from the world about something like sexual abuse that I can in Seventh-day Adventist Church, to be honest with you. Me and my team are actually producing a documentary right now called Church 2, hashtag Church 2, like Me Too, but hashtag Church 2. And it's all about sexual and emotional abuse in the Protestant church, not so much in like the leadership, but how people who are Christians have experienced abuse in their homes or in other contexts. Really powerful film. And so one of my missions, and some people tend to, there's some people who I work with that disagree with some of my thoughts, but I'm really passionate about addressing taboo issues that young adults and youth people may be dealing with. So this is a collaboration with the CamCon Conference. And it touches on, this episode was sexual abuse. There's other episodes. This one was about, the same thing, it's the same thing. Man, my eyes, I'm kind of blind, guys, sorry. This is another series we just did. It was about, and I'll make this point. One of the biggest things that I've learned about this work is listening to the audience. That's a huge point. I should emphasize that, listening to the audience. When I started to produce a whole bunch of content, I had a whole bunch of second generation Hispanics tell me, they're like, hey dude, there's nothing for us, man. We see you creating all this content, but you know, a lot of us grew up in very, how many of you guys ever been to a Hispanic church? And they can be very conservative, they usually speak mostly Spanish, and believe it or not, these second generation Hispanic kids, a lot of times they have trouble with engaging with that, and so a lot of times they leave the church. And so several people would contact me from the Hispanic community saying like, hey, there's nothing for us. We want to talk about, because we're Americans, but we're also Hispanics, but there's no church that kind of can tie those two together. And so we decided to start this online, and we're still actually in our process of doing trial and error, but start this online Spanglish type of worship service that kind of caters to that group. And this was a promo video for that. These are all Hispanic young people talking about growing up Hispanic while they're playing the dominoes. And it's just a really fun, creative video I did. They're playing dominoes, it's silly, but they're talking about spirituality, etc. So yeah, just being creative with it. Now once again, I'm talking a lot. Any questions so far? Any thoughts? Any? Okay, I'll keep going. So this is another video. I believe this video has to do with pornography, right? The struggle. One of the guests, this is him right here. He talks about his own. He's actually a pastor. He talks about his struggle with pornography, even to this day, some of the urges he experiences. Someone raising their hand? Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt your thought, but you mentioned how you were given the directive to create great content.
Yeah.
So when you come up with an idea or a topic that you want to cover, do you have to go to your superior or to get approval, or are you just given kind of free will to address what you think is appropriate?
So that's a great question. Sometimes I do. Ideally, I'm supposed to go to my superior, but here's a secret. This is being recorded, but it's fine. He knows this. I like to. What is it saying? I like to apologize rather than ask permission, right? Ask for forgiveness rather than ask for permission, right? And so I work with the NAD, and there are moments where, for good reasons, I completely get it. There are moments that sometimes I want to touch a topic, sometimes I want to do a project where there's some pushback from some of the people upstairs, and sometimes I have to. It's all about having discernment, praying to God, and deciding what hills to die on. And sometimes I go ahead and do something, and I'll just get slapped on the wrist afterwards. And sometimes I just like kind of try to work with it. Man, that sounds really bad. I'm not a difficult person to work with, but it's all about. I'm gonna shut up. Oh,
my question is this: when you do this,
yes, sir.
The follow-up tracking. How do you know how well you're doing? What is the end result of this?
So yeah, the metrics. What's the metrics of this work? So that's a great question. Usually, traditionally, the metric that we use to measure whether or not we're successful in ministry is the pew, right? Are we getting people in the pew? Are we getting people baptized, right? And I think 20 years ago, even 30, 40 years ago, I think that was appropriate. I think in this day and age, it's just challenging because every industry is having to change their metric, right? Amazon, all these, all the retail, the mall, for example, right? People don't go to the mall anymore. People still buy things. People don't go to the mall anymore. So if you are a mall, if you own a mall, if you own a store, and your metric is like how many people walk into my store, then you're going to always be disappointed. You're always but it's about it's about how many people I'm interacting with online, how many people are purchasing things online. So one thing I had to make clear, and I have to always kind of defend this to a lot of my the people upstairs. Once again, great people are just kind of having that conversation. Is that listen? I'm not saying that this in itself is going to bring people in your pews, because the reality is that every industry is suffering when it comes to bringing people into your building. And there's a statistic, oh man, I wish I had all that data with me right now. But there are several statistics that just break down how this world is changing. And it really emphasizes all the industries that have had to change because of the world is changing. And so as a pastor, one thing I would encourage you as a layperson, don't get discouraged and don't ever blame yourself. When you're doing all this work and people may not be coming to your pew, it's not because of you. Everyone is experiencing this. Every industry, everywhere is experiencing that. So I think that's the first thing. So for me, it's all about that engagement, the comments, the messages that I get, right? And also there's follow-up. So we put this content out, and many times there will be people who will come and engage or ask questions or message us. And then for those people, we get in further contact with them, we send them Bible studies, and sometimes we even get to connect with them in person. So I would say as a local church, and I'm going to show this, I think I've spent this, I'm actually going to show you guys right now how to target, man, I'm so blind, how to target specific communities around your area, directly in your area. And so you can target these people and they're engaged with you, and as they engage with you, they know that your church is right there. So you put out content, blogs, videos, and they're engaging with that content. The haystack's a little different because we don't have a church, but for you, you have a church. So once they're engaging and they appreciate and value your content, they're more likely to what? End up walking in your church, right? And coming and worshiping with you. So I'm going to show you all how do you target. I'll move this back a little bit because I'm having real trouble seeing what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you all how to target audiences on Facebook, right? Many of you just saw, and maybe I need to do it again. What I did to get here is you go to, you're on Facebook, you go right here to this arrow, you click down, and you go to Manage Ads. Manage Ads. You click on Manage Ads, and we have more than one account. I'll just click on my account. And it brings you to the Ads Manager page. The Ads Manager page. And what you can do is you want to, let's say, create an ad for a video you just dropped. You would click Create. After you click Create, it's going to have several options for you. Traffic, engagement, video views, lead generation, messages, etc. Ad installs. So what you want to do, and actually you can put your mouse right here, and it tells you a little bit about what each one is for. So let's say you want to get more post engagements, page likes, and let's say you're doing an event, you want event responses or offer claims, right? Or you would just want more video views on your content, or you want to get more messages, right? There are several different ways to do this, but one thing we do a lot is do engagement. We want to get engagement on the content, right? And so once again, engagement is getting comments and engagements on your post, getting page likes, and even if we're advertising an event, if you're doing an evangelistic series and you're advertising an event, that's getting more people to engage with that. So you click on engagement, and you choose which one. You want to say, let's say, we actually haven't done event responses. Let's do this. Let's play with this. Event responses. Okay. Oh, I guess we gotta set up ads. Okay, let's do this. Okay, we'll do there. Okay, so once you do that, it'll come up with this page. And it seems like a lot, but just go line by line. So the first thing it says, okay, audience, it says create a new audience or use a saved one. So we, for example, I guess since I'm in my account, we don't have any saved audiences. So let's create audiences, that works. Let's create a new audience. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna type in some things. Let's see. Oh, hold on, customize audience. Uh-oh. I am. Okay, I really need to go to switch to the other account. Give me 1 second. Okay, so here we go. Once again, create a ad, doing engagement, continue. So, saved audience, let's say have several different audiences. And what it allows you to do is when you create an audience, what we do is we use several different tags, things that we feel like the audience that we want to target would be interested in, right? So Seventh-day Adventist Church, Three Angels Broadcasting Network, Oakwood University, Southwestern Adventist University, Sabbath, All Hope Channel. So pretty much anyone who likes any of those pages, or have typed in the search bar of Facebook that they were interested in that page, they would see the whatever content we're actually posting. Now let me see if I can actually create and it's been such a long time, but I'm gonna see if I can do that right now.
Okay.
And if I can't do it, I'm gonna show you guys a YouTube video that breaks that all down. So, okay, let's just go with this right now, and then I'll probably address that in a moment. So, you select this audience. It's in Europe and North America, and it has all these tags on it. The Desire of Ages, La Sierra University, Did You Know, Pathfinders, etc., etc. You go down, you have it automatic placements, which it means it maximizes your budget to make it be able to show up anywhere that it can show up, instead of having specific placements. You have a budget, let's say $11, we can put at $11, you can raise that, you can lower that. Continue to go down, and then you press continue. And over here, this tells you, just so you know, how broad your engagement can be. So it says the potential reach is 280 million people, right? That's the potential reach if your video really hits home and resonates with people. And so you can press continue. Okay, so I need to select the post. And so let's say, actually I need to select a page. So I need to go to the haystack, that's our page. And now I need to select a post. And so let's say, let's select this post. Let's make an ad about this post. Adventist Revolution. This is a video we just did about, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the movement in Adventism called Adventist Revolution. So this is a video we just did on that, and so it shows kind of how that, so there's a few things going on. Once you click the video or the blog, wherever you want, it shows you right here what it's going to look like on a mobile news feed. So it just shows you what the ad is going to look like. It also can show you how it's going to look like on desktop news feed. So you can have an idea of what it's going to look like, the ad. And so I'm on my hotspot, so the Wi-Fi is acting a little, or the hotspot is acting a little funny. So another thing to keep in mind, when you create ads on Facebook, since Facebook and Instagram is get together, you can actually create the same ad for Facebook, for Instagram as well, as long as it's no longer than 120 seconds. Now this video is longer, so it's not going to be able to be advertised on Instagram, but that's okay. And so we create the ad, the video is already posted up there, and then we will just press confirm, and once you press confirm, it goes to be reviewed by Facebook, and once it's reviewed, it goes live, and it ends up looking like this. Let's see if I can, well, I can actually. So an ad would typically look like the post that you have on Facebook. So, for example, so the ad will look like this, just like the post you put up. But this ad would not just be on your Facebook page, but anyone once again who likes any of those other pages, as you're scrolling, you guys have seen Facebook ads before, right? You're scrolling through Facebook, they would see your ad. Once again, this is great if you're doing an evangelistic series and you want to really attract your local community, because you can actually create an audience for the age group. You can create an audience for the location. We just happen to create a lot of audiences based on interest, and you can target those specific demographics, and based off of that, you're able to get people's attention and get engagement through that. Now, that was like a lengthy demonstration. Any questions, any confusing moments of that? Yes, ma'am. You do have to pay to put an ad on. That is something you have to do. And so the way I think about it is like this. Most churches have a budget for evangelism, right? So there are some churches that spend sometimes up to $3,000 to get a whole bunch of print out, flyers and to put them all over the place. And a lot of times they don't even get used; they get thrown in the trash. And so if you can budget, let's say if you have $500 the whole year to do towards advertising, you can budget $10 a week to put an ad out there. And you're going to get probably more engagement and more results than printing out 100 flyers and putting them on people's doors, because people are on social media. And so, yeah, it's worked out really great for us. We don't sell anything, so all the money I'm using, it's not coming back, but it's really efficient because we get great engagement, we get great comments, and it just works out really good. And so that's a good question, but yeah, you do have to pay, and that can range, like you can pay any amount, $5, $10, $15. It doesn't have to be a specific amount, whatever you choose. Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone ever, gotten baptized out of these ads that you put out? I know you do say sometimes that it's not identifying who you are, your religion, Adventist.
Yeah.
But has anyone ever said, I want to give my life to the Lord or anything like that?
Yeah. Personally, when I especially did my own vlog and I made a lot of videos, I had a lot of young people give their life to Jesus. And I'm sure there's a lot of cases that I'm not familiar with, because oftentimes what happens, people see content, they see videos, and it connects them with the Bible, and that Bible connects them with their local church, and then they end up getting baptized through there. My twin brother, that's what happened to him. And I know other people who they saw a video, they engaged with something online, and it brought them to their local church. But what I will say is that, so there's a lot of things I don't know. Like, it's hard to tell because there's several people who engage with it and end up going to the local church. But I think that's great if local churches are doing the content, right? So most of the content out there these days are just by organizations, right? And so it's hard for organizations to know who's getting baptized because we don't baptize people. So if someone sees our content, they're not going to contact us to get baptized. We're not their local church. But imagine if local churches are creating content like this. And I live right down the street. I'm on my phone and I see advertisement through that church that I've been seeing for years, right? And it's this video that really speaks to me. I'm going straight to the church, right? And I'm going to be baptized, and I'm going to be a part of that community. And so, there's when you look at the way I like to think about it, when you look at the most successful churches out there, not even Adventist churches, the biggest churches out there, the mega churches, what do they do to get people's attention? Most of what they put their budget towards is production. They have things on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. They spend so much time and energy and money doing that. And I think they do it because it works. It works a lot better than trying to mobilize a whole team of volunteers to go out to pass out tracts at the park. Now, once again, I think that's great, and I think that personal connection is awesome. But as far as numbers, you can probably reach a lot more people by using social media and potentially bring them to your church than just passing out flyers in this day and age, especially with people's posture towards like people just walking up to them and handing them things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, how many people actually know because of your interaction. But
Yeah.
then again, you did say that you don't identify Adventism with your materials.
Yeah, we don't identify with, and I guess to be completely honest, I can't really answer your question that well, right? Because we don't identify as Adventists, and also we're not a church, so many people engage with us, but they're not going to get baptized through us. But once again, I think when you look at other churches, they will have some good thoughts about this. Yes, ma'am.
So how much would a church spend for Facebook ads? What kind of Facebook ad budget should one have?
I think that would depend on the church and what they're trying to accomplish. I think for a smaller church, or really any church, if you just wanted to say, hey, listen, for the first year, we're only going to do Facebook ads when we do our evangelistic series. Because most churches have at least one evangelistic series a year, right? Ideally. So maybe you're not doing weekly ads, maybe you're not doing weekly, big ads on Facebook and Instagram. Maybe you just have weekly content. And then when you have your evangelistic series, let's say if you have a budget, I would say you take using maybe 20 to 30% of your budget on creating ads, I think would be a good move. And once again, you're just testing the waters. Maybe you find that, okay, maybe spending that much isn't a good idea, or maybe we need to readjust a targeting. For us, it took us several months to figure out who was our audience and how to get their attention the best. So it's a trial and error type thing, right? You go there and you say, let's do 18 through 35, let's do these tags. And then you get some engagement, but not the engagement you want, and then you have to change the thing. So it takes some time. So I would say you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money at first. I think spending a few dollars here and there, just testing the waters, and once you get an idea of how it works and what you want, I would say it is good to put at least 20% of your budget, at least evangelistic budget, towards putting ads on Facebook, because they work. And that's why, and all the industries do it. We talked about how the industry is changing. Everybody does Facebook ads, Instagram ads. So they do work. If they didn't work, people wouldn't be paying millions of dollars to do them. So yeah, I would say 20% of your budget would be there.
Okay, so 20% of the budget.
Evangelistic budget, maybe not the overall budget. Yeah.
Evangelistic. So I guess what I'm trying to hone in on with cyber ministry is how do we touch the people in a radius around the church, like the people that you can really do something for. Like I'm not knocking praying for people, and none of that, but actually people that you can really make a difference because I'm touching you, because I'm there. So my question is, how does the cyber ministry physically affect the people that we can touch? So if I have a cyber ministry and I'm not knocking ministering to somebody over in Uganda and we pray with them, whatever, we can't touch them.
Yeah.
So how do we, and then so our community, which is right around us, right, which is that's our mission field right there. Like, are we making a difference? So I'm not helping the people in Uganda, but we're ministering to them over in another continent, and the people that are right next door still don't know that we're there. So I want to know, how is this going to help the next door neighbor in the neighborhood that we can touch, that we can affect, that we can actually go there and your house burned down, we can take you some clothes.
Yeah. So social media is just another medium, right? Just like television, just like radio, just like print was, right? Print is. And so just like all those other mediums, there's limitations, right? Like handing someone a flyer is not going to give them clothes on their back, right? That's not going to do anything. doing a TV show. It's not going to meet every need. So the purpose of social media is just to convey information. And so I guess my answer to your question is like, yeah, like digital ministry is just as limited as any other media, right? It can't replace the human touch, it can't replace the human mind and the heart and the love of God that He's placed inside of us. I simply believe it's a strong tool to bring awareness to who you are, to your brand, to your organization. So as I mentioned a moment ago, the fact that I did that, it used to be that if you wanted your community to know what you were doing, you have to mobilize a group of people and walk around for hours passing out flyers that are probably going to go in the trash, right? That used to be the case. And I grew up doing it, right? My dad was a Bible worker, like I get it. I was a canvasser, like I get it. Today I'm saying that you can sit in your church office, you can put a post on your Facebook, you can go down here, you can boost the post, you can target a specific community, people who like my page, or you can target certain people who are around the area. You can do a whole bunch of different things. Just target a specific group of people, age limit and all. Pay $5, $10 of the money that you would have spent printing out flyers, and you can reach those same people. And here's the kicker. In this day and age, in my experience, I was a canvasser not too long ago. People don't like people knocking on their doors. It's a different dynamic than when I was a little kid. Like knocking on people's doors and trying to handle things, it's just different. The family isn't the same. People aren't coming to work at 5:30, sitting down with their family, and they're all gonna be home. Like it's a different dynamic. But people are addicted to their phones. They're always on social media. So what I'm suggesting is like, hey, this is not gonna solve all the problems. I'm not saying this is replacing anything. I'm saying that you could save actually hundreds of dollars and time and energy by using social media rather than some of these more traditional ways, and get your same content, ideas, and information in front of them, just like there. And they're more likely to actually engage with it. Think about it. When you're walking on the street and someone just walks up to you and just hands you a flyer that that wasn't warranted, you know, I don't know if I want to read that goes in the trash, right? But if I'm on Facebook, I'm stressed out, I'm depressed, and I see this video that's talking about pornography addiction. Oh man, I'm struggling with that. Depression. And, we're having this seminar talking about finances coming. Oh, this is a church over here? Let me press this. Let me sign up. So I don't know if that answers your question, but you're absolutely right. You know, there's nothing can replace our heart. But this is just another medium that can help complement as a tool to do ministry and to convey the information that we want to get out there to the community. Was that helpful? Yes. Love the question. That was a great question. Any other questions? Real quick, I know my time is up, but I want to show you guys just how to, real quickly, if you did want to start making graphics and designs, a resource for that. Canva, some of you guys know about Canva. Oh, you guys just did that, okay. Did you guys go over Unsplash? No. Oh, okay. Okay, I will talk to you guys on Canva. Okay. I thought someone just said you guys just talk about Canva, but maybe I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Awesome. So here's Canva. This is the account for Canva, right? Absolutely. So Canva is beautiful. This is why it's beautiful, and I'll make this quick. So this is what it looks like, and it's as simple as this. You want to create a design. Create a design. Oh, look at that. I guess it's not that simple. No. You want to create a design. You want to create a design, right? This pops up. You want to do an Instagram post, Facebook post, Instagram story. It has every example for you. Let's say we want to do a Facebook post since we've been talking about Facebook. Click on that. Then it gives you a whole bunch of different templates and options for graphics and information. So let's say, you know, we want to do a Facebook post about just something about God or whatnot, just like a little nice quote, and then just have a nice background. Okay, here, this is a cute background. You click on that. You're right here. Okay, now we want to change the text. You just click on it. If my computer would act right, there we go. and you can change the text to, something pleasant, something wonderful, like, I don't know. Yeah, God is love, Andrew is awesome, that both, either one works. Right? And so you just change the text, and you download that. Yeah, well, then he said that. He said Andrew was awesome, yeah. So then you go ahead. I'm sorry, oh, I misspelled awesome. Okay, I can't see. I promise you guys can spell, I just can't see him kind of struggling right now.
You're getting young.
I went to college, I got to college to be good. I promise you. There we go. And so then you, I don't know why it's coming out like this, it's not showing the whole screen, so I gotta pull this off a little bit. I'm sorry guys, this is weird. I don't know why it's, okay. So right here, you just press download. And it downloads and it's on your computer. And then you can just upload it. It's that simple. You don't need to be a graphic designer, nothing. No, the templates are there. You can type in any information you want. Let's say if I wanted to go with, oh, Happy Easter, I could type this, or Happy Sabbath, change it to Happy Sabbath. Any graphic, you can do anything. It's beautiful. If you guys have the app, use the app. This is a great resource. And once again, you want to change the font, you want to change the font, the color. It's pretty straightforward. Does this make sense? Yes. Any questions on this? Okay, so pretty straightforward. Another tool you could use is unsplash.com. Unsplash.com. This is a website that has thousands of pictures that, you have stock photos, but stock photos sometimes can be pretty limited and cheesy. So these are like quality stock photos that you can use for anything. And all you have to do is, I'm sorry? Yeah, they have comments as well. And
Creative Commons. It's
The license.
thank you. Copyright.
Oh.
Is this graded? Isn't required, but appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. So Unsplash, you're on the home page. You just type in, okay, I want to do a post that has like teens in the background. So, type in this in. It has a whole bunch of different examples for you. This example is actually on our website. We actually have. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That's acting weird. So this example is actually on our website, actually. And so you can just pick the picture and you, once again, download it. And you can actually upload it in Canva if you want to, and you can add text to it. So if you want this picture, you can, let me actually do it over here. No, I don't want this. Man, this projector does not like my computer. Okay. And I know I'm out of time. I apologize, guys. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how to do this. So, all you got to do is go to Canva, and I don't know why it doesn't fill the whole screen when I do that. But you just go right here, uploads, and you can upload the image. Okay. And so there are a lot of different ways to play with these two resources, create graphics. And then lastly, I was going to pull this up, but lastly, I was just going to show you guys YouTube, man. You just type into YouTube anything you want, any question you have, and it has an answer for everything. I'm telling you, YouTube is a great resource. Google is a great resource. So I'll stop right here because I went over my time, and I hope that some of this was useful. But I just really wanted to spend some practical time talking about some resources you guys can use. And once again, if you guys have any questions, look up them on YouTube, on Google, and it's a great resource. Can't emphasize enough, you can do it. Doesn't matter how old you are, how incompetent you feel like you are. Man, I'm so slow when it comes to technology, but I was able to teach myself by using these resources, and it's really not that hard. So you guys go ahead and kill it with social media. Look forward to seeing all the great things you guys are going to do with that. Thank you guys.
Before you, I said one quick question. In terms of the video, your video content, what have you found to be more, in terms of your success? Has it dealt with more of the content or the length of the video? Do you see a relationship between how successful they are based on content or length?
Yeah, so the content is the most important thing. I would say focus on content, and just accept that people are ADD and they're probably not gonna watch the full video. There's actually stats to show that people do not, very few people go through the full video. So don't even feel bad about people not going through the whole thing. That's just not what people do. So have a lot of your good information at the beginning, and just make sure to focus on that, because many times people don't go towards the end. So just focus on the content. And lastly, I would say on that point is a comedian actually I was listening to a podcast. He said that he had a 50-minute special that he put out, right? And then he had an hour-and-a-half special that he put out, and he put his whole package out on YouTube. And then he put out 5-minute little snippets of that same special. And he said when you look at the analytics, there was only about a few thousand people that watched the special like halfway through, right? But for the clips, people would watch the clips, and people spent over 2 hours on YouTube watching his clips. Right? Because they would watch the 5-minute clip and like, oh, that was good. Oh, that was it. Okay. And they would click the next one, click the next one. They spent 2 hours watching his clips versus spending the hour-and-a-half just watching the full series. And so his point was like, listen, it's all about like the clips, right? That's something to focus on. Now, once again, don't compromise the content for like short content, but that's something to think about. When you have a sermon, that's what I was mentioning earlier, sermon highlights. Powerful, man, powerful stuff. Get an editor, learn how to edit, take a sermon, do some highlights. It goes a long way. So I could talk for hours, guys. But yeah, great question. And yeah, thanks again, guys.
Thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. Okay, and so we're going to take an official break. We're actually going to give you a good 15 minutes. You can have some time to walk around. Also, just to let you know, this evening, yes, this will be evening by then, where we have Vespers on the schedule. What we're actually going to do for Vespers